Hey everybody, it's Bronson. So we had a little bit of a whoopsie doodle recording the podcast today and lost a large chunk of it. So this one's kind of going to be starting in the middle. I just want to let you know that. That's why you're going to be us like just running and going right from the rip. Sorry about that. We'll make sure the show next week doesn't have this issue. Love you. Bye.
News story here. The Claire Obscure director does have some nice things to say about Xbox.
How rare that is.
I know. But it's something that we were touching on, when this first started coming out. Game Pass lowered the barrier of entry and helped reach a wider audience, which is interesting coming from a developer who put out, what was this, $40?
50. It's $50.
$50, which is on the higher end, but it's still lower than full price.
Yeah. Saying, quote, "This year has been so far beyond what any of us could have imagined. It's down to how passionate and supportive our fans have been making it reality." He attributed some of the success to Game Pass, which is from being there to announce our game back in summer of 2024 to coming to the studio for Developer Direct in January. Xbox helped us get the word out and reach a lot of players. Adding Game Pass let a lot of people try our game where they might not have before. The turn-based RPG genre has a lot of fans, but sometimes it might put people who prefer more real-time action games off. But Game Pass lowered that barrier of entry. They could just try it and see how it feels. So a lot of curious players could start the game, explore Lumiere in the early game, and realize there's a lot of enjoyment here if they weren't expecting it at first. Which, that's how, up until Game Pass Ultimate increased its price, that's kind of how Anthony used it, as like a demo box.
Exactly. Yes.
Which Microsoft probably doesn't want to hear that, of like, oh yeah, cool, I'm going to try this here, and then buy your game on Steam. Which... Yeah, I've done that several times. I've tried a game on Game Pass and been like, oh, cool. And then went immediately over to the Steam client and downloaded it there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. That's one way to go.
If you can create more incentives through the Game Pass system and the app, like, I don't know, bring back the avatars and make a mobile-esque, like, interacting with other people in the world in the app or something. Give people something. If it's just the store and the way Game Pass works, I can just download any game and give it a shot, then it's essentially a demo box. Especially with Steam able to beat Xbox, sale prices half the time.
Yeah, I think that... I think that Xbox is in a hard place because Game Pass is a great trial system, but you can't make enough money to support all these studios that you need to make it a good demo system. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Yeah. I love the idea of Game Pass, but that's the thing. Game Pass also is an interesting idea that is being run by Microsoft the way Microsoft has been running it. And just it's within that larger context of what Xbox has been ever since that conference.
Yeah.
And they cannot escape it.
And they tried so hard, and it's just like, I think a lot of it is studio mismanagement. Like they had these people who were really good at managing game studios and game development during the early days of the 360, late era original Xbox. And I think that a lot of those people got they made it, they did the thing. Xbox became awesome. And then they coasted, and they got a lot of regular the Microsoft people heard like, oh, we're making money now, sick. Came in, and they've been running it ever since, and they continue to run it into the ground. I don't think that's entirely the fault of some of those people are games people and doing a good job, but it's not most of them.
Right.
And the thing is the people that the games business report to are definitely not those people. Like Amy Hood, the person who put in that revenue or profit requirement, uh, you know, like, yeah, she does not give a shit about video games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she does not give one like at all. You know, like she joined that company investor. She went to Duke, went to Harvard. She joined Microsoft in 2002 as an investor in their holdings group. Was on the server and tools business. You know, she worked at Goldman Sachs before this, and she's been the CFO since, funnily enough, 2013, May of 2013.
Wow.
And yeah, she's she was it's like she probably does not know or does not give a shit about video games. Like that is like she isn't a game developer. She does, her background is not games. I you know she just doesn't. And I'm sure that as a person, she might be fine. She might be really nice. But I think that it's obviously like she is trying to treat it like a regular software business. And games are not a traditional software business. And I think that has been the problem with Microsoft for a long time now. Is they are not treating it like, for lack of a better term, like an art form.
Sure.
It's
I just, I think to make video games really thrive, it can't be about chasing the almighty dollar, unfortunately. So
I think there needs to be an element of that so you don't end up in development hell forever. Like I think no, we need to beat this shit out the door. But I also think that it can't be your main focus, and that's clearly what Microsoft's main focus is. And then that's I think that Sony was always really capable at striking a good balance in the past of, hey, we're here to make some goddamn money, but if we put out good, entertaining, thoughtful video games, that part will take care of itself. So
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think once again I personally think Game Pass is a neat idea, and I think it can be good. It's just it seems like the way Xbox has handled it, at least from management end and trying to make sure the money works out for developers and themselves, has not worked out, and it's happened in the larger context of Xbox being Xbox.
I mean, yeah, and I think that, and I am a big believer in Game Pass because I was a big believer in the rental industry. Like I was a supporter of GameFly forever. I was I was a big Blockbuster Pass, the video game unlimited rental thing believer for a long time. And I think Game Pass can genuinely work and get a lot of people to buy even more video games, get people further into video games. But the problem is like Microsoft, it's clear they don't know how to run a development studio, and they don't have the ability to curate something like Game Pass. Like I think the concept of something like Netflix for video games hitting its like full final form and doing a great job at it could be incredibly powerful and get people more invested in games, buying more games, spending more on DLC. But that's just not where that is at right now.
Right.
So
yeah. So
yep.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so these next couple have to do with AI. So we're just gonna
AI, as our good friend Anthony Top puts it.
Yeah. AI.
Anytime that we talk about AI, he goes AI.
Those are two letters.
All right.
Those letters often go together, unfortunately. So
yes.
Sega says it will use AI in game development, but only in appropriate use cases.
I think that's fine. So they say rather than following the trend toward large-scale development, we'll pursue efficiency improvements such as leveraging AI. However, as AI adoption can face strong resistance creatives such as character creation, we'll proceed by carefully assess appropriate use cases such as streamlining development processes. I think that can be a lot of things. I think the Warcraft team has talked about this, saying, "Hey, we use this to model armor to multiple different races, so we don't have to have a guy go in and make sure this is connected to all these dudes." Like, okay, we modeled it to the undead. Now we need to model it to the fishman. Now we model it to fishman. Now we need to get it working on the orc.
Right.
They can just be like, all right, Mr. Robot, please help me model this to the fishman and the orc. And I think that's I think that's great.
Yes, if they can keep it to that. The part that worries me a little bit is says, however, as AI adoption can face strong resistance in creative areas. Like, it seems like just the word choice here suggests we're doing this because people on our team will resist it, which tells me I would be down to use AI for all of this if people didn't throw a hissy fit.
Yeah, I think that's every business, though. That's every business-minded person,
it is, and
that
fuck
sucks.
them. But what I'm saying is, good choice here. I think using AI to streamline the tedious nonsense is great. I think that if you can make it work and you double check that work, that's great.
Yeah, and I think that's what you should do. I think that's how you should treat that process. Is like, this is a tool to make things go quicker. This is not something to replace massive amounts of people.
Right.
This is so we can do more, not so we can fire 1 billion people.
About streamlining the tedious work. It's not supposed to be about churning out, creative expression, removing that from people, and just churning that out into whatever gray paste comes out at the other end.
Exactly. And I think that is. I think that's lost specifically on what it feels like a lot of American game companies. I have talked multiple times about the assets in the new Call of Duty and the campaign of the new Call of Duty feeling like it was made by AI.
Yeah.
And like in a very bad way. So
a lot of these places are, they consider there's 3 levels. There's art, there's entertainment, and then there's slop. And I think there are a lot of people, including just consumers, people who enjoy these things, who enjoy all of these categories on the level of slop, with no concern for other aspects.
I mean, yes, and I've had that conversation with a lot of people, and this is. I feel like a lot of the time, like, I shit on a lot of video games, if
Sure.
I'm being quite frank.
Yeah.
I think I think that a lot of games that come out in a given year are bad. I was recently talking to Anthony about how many games I played this year. I have played 43 video games this year, enough to give an impression of them.
Yeah.
What, like, I could write an impressions article or a review. That is the standard I give to put this in my played list for the year. And then if I finish it, I put the words finished next to it.
Yeah.
And of those 43 games, I would have given 3 a 5 out of 5. I would have given, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 a 4 out of 5. Which means over half of what I have played this year is what I would call average or worse.
Okay.
With in my opinion, one game being a 1, and then yeah, just most games were a 2 or a 3. Over half were a 2 or a 3. And I think a lot of people are not that strict. I think that I think that a lot of people are not that strict about it, and one, don't play that many games. But yeah, to them, they don't see Doom: The Dark Ages as a 3 out of 5. They're like, that's a 5 out of 5. It's incredible. I'm like, it's not.
Sure.
It's fine. And I think that as more slop comes out, they'll just get acclimated to that, and they're like, oh, this is video games now. This is entertainment. And especially if you only grow up with that.
Right,
like that's another
exactly,
thing to
yeah.
consider. Like us old timers who will remember when everything was handcrafted. We're gonna go away. It's like the same thing with movies. Like you look at how many movies now are just like all CG garbage. But and then like I'll go watch an old movie and be like, oh yeah, dude, practical effects look great. These look so sick.
Well, and then also
God,
like you go back to those eras and you'll see CG where the CG artists are given the time and money to do what they need to do, and you're like, oh my god, look at the CG. Look at the CG in the early
yes.
2000s. This is nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just not
Hasn't been here for a little while.
Yeah, and I think that it's once again that it is the result of number must go up, right?
Yes, yeah, it all comes back to that.
It's number must go up, and at the expense of seems like everything else, and that's unfortunate. And there are some companies that are fighting this, of course. Most of them are not publicly traded, and if they are publicly traded, they're making concessions in other places.
Right.
It's
yeah, go ahead.
I hype up Nintendo a lot, but the concession they had to make was, okay, well, we just have to increase the price of all our accessories.
Right.
So now amiibos are $30. Now controllers, instead of being $80 or $90. So
yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, the long-term thing is like, do businesses keep hammering on this for the long term? Because if they do, eventually, yeah, you have a whole generation of people who just grew up with things being like this, and they just accept it because they didn't know.
I mean, like, imagine, there is somebody, like, Fortnite's been around for 8 years at this point, right?
Yeah.
There is someone who started playing Fortnite when they were 10, who is still playing it today, and that's just what video games is to them.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's just what it is to them.
They're about to go off to college, enter the workforce, and like they just video games are Fortnite and Rocket League and
what people are calling friend slop or calling casual co-op. It's like that's what it is to them.
Yeah.
Versus, like, if you asked me when I was 18, what is video games? I'd be like, oh, that's like Persona 4 and Uncharted.
Right. Like you think like Final Fantasy
that's,
7. You think, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Man.
Like
these like big pieces of art.
Yeah.
These multi-million-dollar pieces of art that are, that require teams of people and are these, one-off either gameplay experiences or narrative experiences. And that's just not. And if it does hit the Fortnite's been it's no secret Fortnite's super pro AI with that Darth Vader thing and the assets and a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The story I talked about last week with Tim Sweeney being like, AI disclosures aren't, we need to stop doing that.
Why? Well, what's your problem? If you're pro AI, why can't people know?
It's like, well, because every game's going to use it, yeah, but they don't right now.
Exactly. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah.
Why? Okay. What's your problem there?
Yeah. But
where is this store? I want to be here.
I think that's the Sega store in Tokyo.
That looks sick.
Yeah, I'd go to a Sega store,
Yeah.
especially if they have Atlas. Especially if they have Atlas stuff.
Sure.
Especially
Right.
if they have
Yeah.
a bunch of Atlas stuff. Oh man, take me to the Persona store.
I don't think I could stand in this amount of lighting though. This is bright and cool as hell. Oh man. Well, let's move to the other AI story here, because this story starts delving a little bit into that one. I believe it's an unnamed studio is now asking their art applicants to draw a picture during the interview to prove that they can actually do the art thing and aren't relying on generative AI.
So I've been applying for marketing jobs recently,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, no, this doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean,
This,
okay, I think your interviewing situation and this, I think, are different circumstances. Like, we were talking about what you had to go through.
yeah, yes, and that is different circumstances. But yeah, I totally think this is going to be. Now they're not just going to want to see a portfolio for artists.
Right.
I think now it's like, no, we'll give you a quick task to do in front of us.
Yep.
It's just like how when I was doing certification tests back in the day, they had to have like a proctor. So you couldn't just take your Microsoft certifications. Like the way you had to do it, if you're taking your Microsoft certifications and you aren't going to a test center and you're doing it over the internet, is you have to go to a room that's entirely basically empty. Like the place I had to do it was like Artisan.
Okay.
And you had to should tilt the webcam to show your desk, so there was nothing on your desk, nothing around, nothing in reach of you that could give you answers.
Okay.
It's you, a laptop, and a desk or a table.
Sure.
And then the camera and microphone need to be on the entire time.
All right.
And no one else can come in or out of the room.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's gonna be very similar for art. Like, hey, I need you to draw this.
Right.
So
yeah, so there's some quotes here I saw in that prior article that are in here too. I just want to read a quote from this unnamed person in this studio, Mr. B, good name. There are many people who claim that artwork generated by AI is their own creation. We've actually ended up hiring such people only to find they weren't productive, which led to several problems. Because of that, we've changed our hiring process, and it now requires candidates to draw something in person during the interview to verify their skills. As a recruiter, it's a huge hassle, and it feels like we're going backwards in time, but I've heard that several other companies are doing the same thing. The source noted that while this is the current situation, it could change in the future as upper management continues to ask questions like, do we even need to hire creators when generative AI is good enough? Or we should be hiring people who are masters at using generative AI. Mr. B says while he's been continually pushing against these ideas, he says he can feel his position within the company gradually weakening.
I don't, and it's it's because the C-suite doesn't understand this full enough. It's and that's a big part of it.
Well,
right? Like just straight
again,
up.
yeah, this goes back to number go up. Like if you market something well enough, and if you can get generative AI to work well enough to do what it needs to do, yeah, the costs are much lower, and it's easier to get the success you are looking for. And that sucks because the games are not going to be very good.
And I think the audience will eventually have backlash against that unless the AI gets good enough. The dirty secret here that I don't think people are realizing is I think most consumers, there are some people who truly are like, anti-AI for ethical reasons.
Yeah.
But I think the vast majority of consumers don't give a shit if it could look the same.
Right.
Look
the
if
same
you
enough.
could make, get 95% of the way there. The thing is like right now it's like 25% of the way there. But if you could get like Marvel Tokon to look like Marvel Tokon without ever hiring a concept artist or an in-house artist or modeler and just use an AI, no one would give a shit if it was by AI.
No.
No one would care. Not no one, but the majority of people playing it would not give a shit.
Here's the thing.
They wouldn't care.
Pinterest has an AI filter that was needed
Mhm.
because people were just throwing AI generations up on there, and a lot of people who are casually looking at art wouldn't know the difference. And you look closely, and it's like there are like 7 zippers on this jacket, and they're all in the wrong place. Why does this have 3 collars on this side, but 1 collar on the other side of the neck? Like, if you actually look at it, like, yeah, this is all nonsense. This doesn't make sense. But if you are just consuming it, I don't care. If it generally pulls off the
Yes,
vibe you're looking for, that's enough. And I think that
and
this is going to be a real test over however long this is going to take
I
of like, can you make the average person give a damn after it's pointed out once it becomes popular?
and yeah, I don't
I don't know.
I don't I, I don't even think so. I think the average consumer just doesn't give a shit. I think that they like if you can get Romeo as a dead man to look the way that game does with an AI, no one will care.
So, I mean, the logical conclusion is this is going to be applied to every part as much as possible. So,
Yeah.
the question is, can AI get to writing Romeo as a dead man and make it look like it and make it play like it, like
I,
80%?
so, yes, I totally think it can.
And
If
will
you
people
feed
care?
it, if you feed it enough Suda 51 content, yes. Because I think that like if you go into like Chat GPT and say, hey, I need a review of blank in so and so style, they will go on the internet, they will scan every bit of that person's work,
Yep.
and yeah, it'll be very close. It'll be 80% of the way there.
And
You know,
what really sucks about this is, people worry about AI eating itself. And I think that will happen to some degree. But here's the thing about art and artists. This is a natural consequence of creative people wanting to express themselves and put something out in the world, which means even in this hellscape where there's no profit to be made, people are still going to make stuff. And it's just going to be fresh to be eaten by AI, unless there's legislation or something.
which there won't be because it generates too much money for the economy and the fucking media and the governments that are bought.
Right.
You know, well, like that's the that is the reality of it. You know.
Yeah. I think and then this goes back to just like I think we just have to be there. You're gonna have to form smaller communities that are just about identifying the people who are making cool stuff and just be with them and support those games.
Yeah, and I think that there are going to be AAA studios who understand there is going to be a value in making a non-AI thing. I think that or significantly less AI thing,
Mm-hmm.
but the cost of that is going to be so much higher that
Yes.
those games are going to be wildly expensive, like luxury products.
Right.
Like I think that if Nintendo goes where I think they're going to go with this, Nintendo's games are going to become that luxury product.
Yeah.
But and as such, those games are going to be like $200 a copy. You know, like if you want something like if this AI takeover happens the way the business people want it to be, I still think there's going to be what are currently traditional video games, but for a game like Metaphor ReFantasio, like a handcrafted work of art that looks that great and plays that great and is all made by people, you're going to be looking at, instead of being a $70 game, you're going to double, maybe even triple that price. And that's the way it is now. Like most of our clothes, Aaron, are made in fucking garment factories
Right.
that are like just automated.
Yeah.
So I think if you're, but if you want a handmade t-shirt, you can still get it. But instead of paying, $15, $20, you're going to be paying $60.
And it sucks because if I had the money, I would vote with my dollar, but I can't. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's part of it, and it's and and so you're gonna have to pick and choose. Like I personally, and everyone has to do this with whatever their financial situation is, and like for example, I personally would choose to pay for the bespoke $150-$200 video game and not the $60 t-shirt.
Right.
That's handcrafted, and everyone's and different people are going to have that in mind.
Yeah, the clothing fight is really hard to have. Video games, I think for people like us, I think we're gonna continue to beat the drum.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how it's going to go in the movie space with guys like Christopher Nolan being like, this shit is a plagiarism machine that sucks. Fuck this. I'm going to continue making movies with practical effects. And I'm also going to, not only am I going to do practical effects, I'm also going to shoot it on film because fuck them.
Right.
So,
But that's also like the biggest filmmaker. And the question is the up and comers.
I think that those people are going to be going to film festivals and doing everything they can to get their movie bought by Netflix. And hopefully their movie.
I think those people are creatives. I think they're inclined to do that, but I just wonder what happens when those first few decide, all right, fuck it all. The tools are put in front of me.
Yeah, and then we get to the case of like, okay, can a very creative person manipulate AI in a way to make it create art?
Which is hard to find out in the wild right now, because the very same people who are using AI controls are doing it because they don't have that bone in their body. And
yeah, they're yes.
Combined with the fact that the technology isn't there yet.
Yes, but like, if it's at this point where technology can build 75-80% of a video game, then it's at this point where, a very creative person, a more, person who in the past would have been a traditional artist maybe can go, hey, I want you to draw me a dragon using this line work style in this way, doing this thing, like exactly, and it'll make that thing.
Right.
The
question is like, okay, so I've been looking at Grok stuff. Because they've started doing AI audio as well, along with the video. And they get a script that they can speak. It's weird. It's they've gotten past, in a number of cases that I've seen, they've gotten past the uncanny valley point for the most part, but then they'll just say weird stuff, or they'll make a strange expression that, like, it's not like I've never seen that human expression before, but it's just contextually doesn't make sense. So the question is, so they're getting there, and it tends to be like 6 seconds or something like that, 6-second increments. So the question is, like, can you get I'm going to generate this character. Now you need to hold this character design consistently throughout all of these shots, and set design all these shots. I'm going to design, and there's a whole lot of work that would have to happen to make that all work.
But I do think that this is technology that's just like so rapidly evolving. Yeah. Like if you think about what Excel, my old job involved a lot of reporting, a lot of Excel sheets, a lot of data cleaning, scraping. That used to be the job of like an entire department.
Right.
Like that, and now it's like 2 dudes. It's like a 2-dude job.
Yeah.
And I think that this is going to be a similar case where the technology will get good enough, and at that point, how will very creative people get involved with that as well?
It's the kind of thing it's kind of messed up, but it's like they need to create this art stealing machine with artists in mind. Artists who use creative stuff, like, all right, we have a singular creative who wants to make an entire film. how do we make these tools so like, all right, here's how to generate this character and then establish this as the character throughout. How do we establish, I think there's a whole lot of work there. And then there's the big bubble in the room, which is they're having to buy data centers like crazy. They're using ridiculous amounts of energy, an amazing amount of money that I don't know how they're ever supposed to earn it back.
I think the hope is basically what happened with the .com, but like the computing boom and then the .com boom and then the smartphone boom is it eventually gets to the point of where it's so ubiquitous that it is almost a utility. Very similar to the way the internet is basically it is a utility at this point.
Right.
I think
just
AI, you know, because you got to think about, because if you take AI to its furthest conclusion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna start getting it involved with robots.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna start getting AI involved with robots, and now it's gonna be doing warehouse jobs.
Right.
And now it's gonna be doing truck driving jobs. Now it's gonna be doing light electrical work and like other tasks. And you take this far enough, and outside of the most dexterous work that requires just human hands to do, your plumbing, some electrical work, some surgery things of that nature. You're looking at eliminating just all this labor, and at that point you're like, all right, well, now we just need to entirely rebuild society.
Which I would be fine with if it was restructuring around our Star Trek future, where we just spend our time becoming better people.
Yeah, and then I also think it's going to take something very similar to Star Trek, where we nearly extinct ourselves to make it happen.
We're on our way. It's
like
yeah.
I think we're gonna hit Cyberpunk first. Like I think that's where we go first. I think the world of Cyberpunk 2077 is just so very much where we are going on a fast track.
Yeah.
I highly recommend everyone to play that game if you just want to see an example. Like, and really not just play it, like get immersed in it, like live that shit. Because it's so clear that's where we're going to be in 50, 60, 70 years. It's like clear as day. Like if you've ever been to Los Angeles in the past 5-10 years,
yeah. Dodie commented here. It says, I don't think AI will get to where anyone thinks it will right now. I think it's way more of a buzz bubble than anyone wants to admit. And that's the thing, is like, okay, I could see a way where it makes money, but again, it is the power requirements as well, and like what it's doing to RAM, in the world right now.
Yeah,
like,
well, but
yeah,
it's doing that to RAM, but it's also like, all right, well, you can just invest in more RAM, or that'll level out eventually. Like it's using a lot of RAM because we're building new infrastructure.
right.
Yeah, that's like if you decide to build a new electrical infrastructure for most of the country, it's like, we're using a lot of copper.
I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay, they're making a bunch of data centers, and it's like, I don't know. Are they trying to do? Are they constantly developing the next use case for AI, or are they just kind of doing it for right now? What we're doing right now, because it seems to be running along fine right now.
I think that there are a bunch of different companies, like going through and making stuff related to AI. You've seen AI robotic, every other day you see NVIDIA being like, we gave a shit ton of chips and signed a contract with this company. And I think it's going to be similar to the .com boom, where you are going to get a bubble burst, like, because there's just a bunch of bullshit companies in AI. But I think very similar to the internet bubble that happened in the late 90s, early 2000s, you're going to see a lot of real companies come out of this and do really awesome shit.
Yeah, this is not to say that there isn't something interesting and really cool in this. It's just that all the people that are involved in it and invested in it are shitheads.
Yeah, what? But those shitheads, like, not the same shitheads, but very similar shitheads
Yes.
were there during the .com boom.
Well, yes, absolutely.
You know, and then the post.com boom, which, you know, you look at the post.com boom, it's like they were right. It totally transformed the world. Like you look at, you know, Spotify and Apple Music and Netflix and fucking every banking platform ever, you know, the smartphone. I think AI will go through a very similar thing, and I think it will take just as long. It will be a 20 to 30 year transformation. Very similar to the internet and computing.
Which means we have to appreciate the early AI sustained boom, because then it will eventually be even more corrupted than we initially thought it would be, and it will just be the 5 websites problem, but somehow like AI's version of that.
Yeah, which the 5 web and AI is going to be there already just because how expensive it is to get in.
Right. What I'm saying is it's going to be worse. It's just the nature of it. Wherever we start at, it's going to be worse.
Yes, which I think that, you know, and I think AI has had some benefits. I can say in my last job, I definitely used it for, you know, certain repetitive, annoying tasks. You know, come in the chat. To be clear, decades down the line, yes, but I think AI will crash and fizzle at least one more time before then. Things similar to VR. I think VR never even got a bubble.
If your bubble is like the Nintendo, was it
the Wii?
Oh, I was thinking like the Viewmaster or whatever it's called.
Oh, the Labo.
Oh no, the red one.
Oh, the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy. Thank you. Yeah, I don't. There were attempts, but yeah, I don't know. I think VR. If we want to go back to the PlayStation story, I want more and more people to get PS5 Pros, and that be their entry into VR. I want Sony to keep investing in to make it a thing. Please, just keep working on it.
You know, Valve is committed at least. Valve is doing another one.
Valve's also.
Like, Valve is out here being like, yo, dog, we didn't hear no bell. That said, I mean, you can get a PSVR 2 for $300 right now.
Yeah.
Again, you know, and
that's pretty, you know, if we're able to pay this much for all these video games, I think that makes sense. But and I think the problem with VR is actually way worse than the problem with, like, VR is in a worse state than AI, because the problem with VR is no one is willing to throw money at fucking VR. No one has ever been willing to throw money at VR the way they have AI. Right.
And I know you can say, but Meta, and I'm like, look at the amount of money being spent on fucking VR in its lifetime versus AI in its lifetime, or even the past 5 years. It just dwarfs VR to a fucking clownish degree.
And that's in large part because there's a promise of profits with AI from eliminating having to pay for people. Whereas VR, it's like the amount of money and time you got to invest in it to maybe get profits that could rival, you know, some other smaller video game titles traditionally made.
VR is continuing to return and fizzle and return and fizzle. Well, I think that the reason that it's like started to hang around this time is because the technology is there. Like in the 90s, you had what was fucking Sega's VR headset? Fuck, the Activator.
I don't know anything about this.
Fucking.
I didn't know if Sega even attempted this.
Sega did a motion control thing. They had a VR headset planned. I think it was the Activator. Hold on, let me check.
Accessory. I'm clicking on the page from giantbomb.com.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. So giantbomb.com. It's a website.
Apply it directly to the forehead.
So Sega had like this motion control thing that used sensors called the Activator, and Nintendo had the Virtual Boy. And then you know, like you kind of have the motion control craze in the 2000s, and then since like the mid 2000s, VR has just kind of been around, and it didn't really pop. Like you can still use your Quest 2s and Quest 1s for a lot of shit. Like it's just that it's just not a bubble as it is just kind of this constant, like, this could be cool.
Right.
This could be cool when you get this going.
Yeah.
At least for the past decade. And it's like, it's You know, and I think the technological implication of VR is not there unless you buy a bunch of other shit and have the space for it. Like, you know, I think that, for example, everyone who has used a PSVR 2 and on Gran Turismo has told me it is the most incredible experience they have ever experienced.
Sure.
They also had to buy a racing wheel to do it.
Right.
Then they got a bucket chair. Now they basically just have a fucking car in their living room with a VR headset on.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Yep.
it's, you know, let me buy this $400 wheel for my $300 headset on my $500 game console so I can play this one game that simulates driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing though, is I think if VR had like a really killer game, like I'm talking near Fortnite, and like everyone wants to go check out VR, people will put in the money over time to build that general VR space.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They just don't have that game.
I
don't know what that game even is.
Yeah, I think Half-Life Alyx was close. I think Half-Life Alyx was a big deal. I think it was Half-Life 3. It might have gotten there. What was the Steam charts for Half-Life Alyx? Out of curiosity. So peak players all at once, 17,000 almost. You know, so it's like it's still kind of a niche thing. It's always been a niche thing. And like Half-Life Alyx is the biggest a VR game's ever been. So it's like, you know, all right, let me try Beat Saber, because Beat Saber's kind of more of a party game.
That one's been advertised like all the time.
That too. It's been a big, you know, it's okay, 42,000 all-time peak.
Yeah, Beat Saber is reaching 42,000 then.
You know, it's like there's no money in it.
Right.
There's no fucking money here.
There's no money in it, whereas AI has potential huge savings for businesses.
Yes, you know, like across the board.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, so yeah, that's kind of where that's at, and it's, you know, all right. Anyway.
Yep. All right, that was that.
That was AI. Let's get into other stuff, and then what we're playing, and we can call it a day.
One last news story.
Let's do a story.
Hey, Romeo is a Dead Man has a release date.
Fuck yeah, it does. Hell yeah, I'm excited for this game.
Yeah.
I love Suda51. There's a ton of creative, cool energy here. You know, they put out a gameplay trailer. It looks as every bit of a fever dream as you might expect out of a Suda51 game.
What I come here for.
Looks like a shooter mixed with No More Heroes, mixed with like a space sim with all the weird bullshit intent that you would ever have. Yeah, it looks like you know, it says here it's like switch between melee attacks, No More Heroes, and gun-based Shadows of the Damned. I'm like, okay.
All right.
And then like you look at this gameplay trailer they put out, I'm like, God damn it, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this. They're putting goddamn Gundams in it now.
Yep.
Hold on one sec. Man, this February is getting too packed. This February is getting crazy packed. No, for real. Like, we're getting Resident Evil, we're getting Romeo's Dead Man, Mario Tennis, Marvel Tocon might be hitting in that. Like, yeah, like the February 2026 getting mighty fucking packed. Oh, Neo 3 if you're into that.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of packed month, bro. Like it's been a little. Oh, Yakuza Kiwami 3, High on Life 2.
Right.
Y'all got a dump right in February, huh? And then you know, the following month we're getting the spiritual sequel to God, not Resogun, their game after Resogun. Oh my God, I'm forgetting its name. Returnal.
Oh right, yes.
And Saros, and then what's it called? That new James Bond game by the Hitman people is also out in March.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Nuts.
It's gonna be a real crazy.
Now that GTA has cleared the way.
GTA is like, all right, November, we promise. We promise. I just like the idea of someone just being like, "All right, we're delaying our game to November. GTA is going to be out in May," and they come out and they're like, "Oh, god damn it! Stop moving it!"
Man.
This
Yeah.
trailer looks fucking awesome though. The same looks so good.
So like, I don't know. Yeah, this is gonna be a moment where we appreciate this, because this is not. These games aren't going to be huge money makers, but it is a handcrafted vision, and it is something to always appreciate, even as things go the way they go.
Even when I don't care for them, I don't particularly love Death Stranding 2, but I made sure to appreciate every bit of that game because I'm just like, this is this man's vision.
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy your vision.
That's why I'm into it. This is nuts.
That said, I've consistently enjoyed Suda51's visions over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Versus Hideo Kojima outside of Metal Gear, it's been very hit or miss for me. So
sure.
Yeah. So yeah, no. All right, let's get into what we've been playing.
That was the news. What have we been playing?
Let's yeah, I guess we'll get into the big one. Housing for World of Warcraft came out.
Yeah, it came out.
It did. It came out for those. It's early access still for WoW Housing. Went in, picked out my plot. I was like the third one in, and I got the exact house I wanted.
Hell yeah, good.
I did the exact plot I wanted. And the reason was I wanted the house highest up on the hill.
Sure.
I wanted to be able to look down. I wish they put one at the top, the peak mountain in the housing area, because I wanted to be like the Grinch looking down at goddamn Whoville.
Okay.
Sadly did not get that, but I did get the highest point, and it's next to this tower. And damn, dude, I did not think I would enjoy this shit this much. I did not think I would enjoy this. I thought like, oh, I'll fuck around, make a house, and then with whatever I have and bounce out. And then I made my first house, and then I looked around the neighborhood. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to spend more time doing this. And I went out and got a bunch more materials. And then I was like, oh, what decor? There has to be some other decor items I can get. There have to be some cool decor items I can invest in.
Yeah.
So I went out and went to all the vendors that I have rep grinded from 20 years of playing this fucking game. And I went and I got a bunch of stuff from my house. And now I am currently playing Legion Remix in order to get the order halls I never did done quickly. So that way I can get more housing stuff. Like a friend told me oh yeah, dude, you should look at the 100 order hall item because look at this thing. And I'm like, fuck, it's a dragon skeleton. I want that for my fucking house.
Right.
So now I'm doing a hunter in Legion Remix because it's faster than doing the order hall in the main game. So that way I can get the dragon skeleton for my fucking house.
Sure. Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to have you go through a whole bunch of stuff to get decor, because building a house and getting all that set up is nice, but you gotta fill that space, man. Well, what do you want? Let's go find it.
Yes, and what I want is a lot of order hall items. Another couple items I want are from the second patch of the War Within.
Okay.
And I didn't do a lot of the second patch or the first patch, the Undermine one. I didn't do the rep grind for that really. Mm-hmm. And what that has caused me to do is now I am rep grinding Undermine in order to get my rep high enough to where I can get a beach chair to put on my yard. I don't rep grind in WoW unless it's gear. Oh yeah, I'll do this to get the gear for the season and then dip out. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna rep grind to get a fucking beach chair, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. I love it.
So yeah, and then the housing tools are really they allow clipping, and people have done some crazy shit. Our guild master, I highly encourage you to go check out his house, Lothan.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude, his house, he made this full featured fucking house. It's the inside of it, it looks like a home an adventurer would live in.
Nice.
I will say our server is a little bit it's really easy. Like our server is probably a lot better for this than most because we're on Moonguard,
Right.
which is like, it's the RP server,
Yeah.
so it's like, it's kind of, there's a lot more of that going on,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just, I can't say, I am shocked at how much I've enjoyed this feature. That's the first thing I can say.
Sure.
And I cannot wait to keep working on my house. My current plan, like right now, I want them, and they have a housing system. Like you level your housing.
Right.
So like you level it by getting decor, and that unlocks more rooms, bigger budget,
Yep.
right? And I'm just like sitting here like, man, I cannot wait until I want a bigger budget and a bigger everything before I really start investing in the interior. Because what I want to do is I want to do a pretty good sized room for my like 4 main characters that I run.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I want to do I want to do like this wizard tower sanctum for my mage, and I want to do like a gladiator thing for my warrior, and I want to do like basically the Lich King's throne for my Death Knight. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my druid yet.
I think that's a great idea.
I think I might do something because he's a worgen. I might do something like gothy and edgy with it.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, like that's my plan. When I have a lot more decor and a lot more stuff comes out during the expansion launch. But right now, I'm just kind of doing, like they got me. Like I've always been a Warcraft player, but I've been on like kind of a seasonal thing. Right, like I've been like, yeah, I'll come in, I'll do the story, I'll do my objectives for the patch.
Yeah.
Get KSM, get AOTC, then dip out for the season. But like now I'm like playing it like ye olden times of like, I gotta get all the shit from my house. I want my house to look sick.
Right.
So yeah, I think that I don't think it's like perfect. I definitely I really want and this might be later down the progression tree because they've only shown the first 5 things in the progression tree, but I want to be able to do a bigger outside, a bigger, more elaborate outside. It feels like the stuff for your outside of your house, especially the house itself, feels kind of small.
Yeah.
And I really like the and then I kind of wish there were more styles for a house beyond human and elf for now.
Right.
At least in the alliance area, and then the horde had something similar for horde where it's orc and elf.
And they'll expand on that.
Oh, absolutely! Like I can guarantee you that like when the last Titan comes out, it's like you can now do Titan architecture. Right. You can have the gold and the bronze and all the Greek shit.
Sure.
It's just like fuck. They'll do plenty of those. It's more of just a matter of when they do it. It's like, all right, when are we getting the night elf housing stuff? When are we getting the when are we getting this? When are we getting that? Like that kind of thing. Less of a what's it called? Less of a like if. It's just more of a when at this point.
Right.
But yeah, you got back in. Like I know for Christmas I got you the expansion, and because I know you were interested in the housing stuff and the new spec for Demon Hunter, and I was like,
very much.
All right, well let's Merry Christmas. Come join me in the crack den.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that because I got in there and people are starting to snatch up houses already. I was like, oh.
Yeah, like I was just like, oh, and it's what I've been trying to tell Anthony, like, dude, no, you need to get your plot. You need to get your guild plot.
Yeah.
Look, I know that like you want to get on when you get on, but no, dude, like for real, get in here, get even if you just make a bare bones nothing house.
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
like get your plot.
Claim your
get
stuff.
Your plot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I went in last night and I was picking between 2 places, and then I found out that there's only one plot in the graveyard. And I said, I'm
that's your home.
Boy.
That's fair.
There was one really like far down at the end. Not really far from my place, but there's one at the end that so there's a portion of the region that is just night. Everyone else is living in the day, and then there's this portion that's like night sky. I was like, okay, definitely gonna be in here. And then there was one at the very end that was like on a cliff. I was like, wow, this has potential for a great view. And I look out and it's just like fog and ocean. It's like, I don't know.
And,
Yeah. So
there were a couple of plots that I really dug. There's this one that's like this hidden little alcove on the beach.
ooh,
That's
yeah.
really cool. I don't want to tell anyone where it is exactly, like which plot it is, because I want someone who looks and finds it to be like, oh, this is mine.
Exactly. There's an
But
experience there.
yeah, like, but no, I was, I think that yeah, man, it's but anyway. So you got your house built.
Yes, I built my house. I do not have a whole lot of stuff. So
No, yeah, because you're I don't want to say you're an entirely new player, but you are a very new player. So you have a lot of content you go through to unlock stuff.
yes. I was looking like, is there? I was really hoping they had like a, because you did this thing on this date. Because I wondered if there was something I could have done during kata that may have gotten an item or something. But I don't know.
A, a lot of it is related to reputation and achievements. So the Onyxia Dragon Head, it's related to doing this achievement called More Dots from Lich King, which, to be fair, you can still do today, and it's really goddamn easy.
All right, hey,
It's the
that's
will
nice.
take you like and that's a lot of it. Like a lot of it is related to old achievements that are not hard to do or old rep crimes. I would definitely go look up like the Legion class order hall stuff while Remix is going on and see if there's anything you want there, because that's a lot easier to do in Remix because you don't have to do the material farming for it.
Okay.
You just do the order hall, and there's like 42 days of Remix left. But yeah, like I had no intention of playing Remix, and here I am playing fucking Remix
Yeah.
because I'm like, well, this is the fastest way to get this housing shit done, so let's go.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think this is a great change, a great addition rather. And I'm definitely going to be looking through the entire catalog that people are going to be making of all the items you can get, and start making a checklist of things to do.
Yeah, I that's what I'm doing. Like I'm trying to go down to Undermine every day to go do the farm for my chair. I'm gonna be logging into Legion to go to Legion Remix to go and to make sure I get my to get at least the Hunter one done. But I ideally want to do Hunter, Mage, and Paladin. But yeah, no, this is a hell of a feature. I think this is, and the fact that it's not a miserable experience. Like, hey, if you're part of a guild, we'll automatically plop you in your guild neighborhood. If you're not part of a guild, then here, just pick a public one or a private one with friends, and it's 1,000 gold, which is basically free these days.
Right.
And here you go. Enjoy your house.
Yeah.
And I think that it, because like that part of the reason why I never even thought about getting a house in 14 is just like the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna like sit out here and camp a plot for literal days of my actual life.
I mean, there's
like,
something about like building the money, and like there's limited amount of housing that creates that there's some value to that, and I think that's something that you do like to try and hang on to. I think that's interesting in its own way, but it does mean, yeah, some people just I have an apartment, like I can't get a house, and that sucks, but that's part of the thing. So I think World of Warcraft going the other direction with it, I think, is valuable in a different way, and one that is more easy for more people to get into.
Like, I think that the one thing I would have liked to see is make it a little bit of a thing where it's like you have to, like, I think having the ease of ability, but putting a lack of a gold farm, or putting like maybe a gold farm in there would have been nice. But I also think that, and this is something also about 14 housing that made me not want to get involved with it is like, oh yeah, if you're gone for a certain amount of time, like we just you lose your house.
Yeah.
The bank comes and takes it.
Which
And it's like,
it makes sense in this, like, hey, there's limited amount of plots, and if you're not using it, then that means other people.
yeah,
can,
it should, yes, but like it's still just like, oh, I invest all that gil, all that time, and because I didn't want to pay you,
right.
I did not want to pay my Square Enix rent.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It did, but I think this system is a little more for me, and it's and
it's certainly easier to get
yeah.
into, which is nice.
Yeah, yes, and I think that is that's a big win. It's a smart thing they've done.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh no, I'm pretty stoked for it. I'm looking forward to farming more stuff and making the house I want to make, and I'm probably gonna tap out this early access period in the next week or two outside of farming stuff in Legion.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna still keep playing, but it's like I'm curious to see the stuff they like. I want to be able to actually full on progress it and go ham with it.
Sure.
Versus early access, I know they're you're gated.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
But hey, I believe since we have the deluxe edition, we'll have full access to the expansion on February 29th because we get 3 days early access.
Man. Oh.
So.
Right.
I mean, if it's like what happened with War Within, I'm literally going to log on that Friday once the server congestion clears up a bit. And then I'm going to be on for 3 days straight hitting level cap.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Making an event.
Yeah, let's go back to 2000. I saw that thing from the Cataclysm launch. I remember that Cataclysm launch. Me, Quinn, and I think it was Ben in my tiny ass house, in my bedroom and kitchen, fully set up playing World of Warcraft, all trying, for 3 days straight, trying to hit level 85.
Yep.
What a magical time. What a magical time. So
yeah, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good time. Well, all right. So what else did we play?
Let's see. This one's quick. I did more Ghost of Yotei. I continue to like it, though I feel it's a little too long in the tooth. I'm a little fatigued by it just because it's kind of more Ghost of Tsushima, which was a game I spent 75 hours in.
Right.
That's a quick one. I continue to make progress in Digimon Time Stranger, and I figured out that so when you go to evolve a Digimon, it typically tells you they need to get certain stats, which you get by leveling up, but it kept telling me like agent rank. And I'm like, how the fuck do I improve my agent rank and where do I see it? And I looked online, it's like, oh yeah, you do this by doing side quests or the main quest. So if you want to evolve Digimon super early, you should grind side quests. So as such, I have just been grinding side quests and repeating dungeons so that way I can have ultimate level Digimon super early in the game.
All right. Yeah.
And it takes a while. Like I spent like 2 hours last night trying to like get an X of Emon, and that way I can combine him and Stingmon eventually for Piedmon. Like I'm just like, oh god, so much. But that game is cool. They did it is a very much a Persona like in a really fun way. I think it's a good entry point for Digimon as a whole. Like if you've never played Digimon or watched Digimon,
that's good.
It kind of gets the concept pretty readily. Real world, digital world, monsters from digital world.
Yep.
Problem ensues where you got to solve it so they stop crossing over. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that, and it's been really good to play on the Steam Deck. My girlfriend and I have she started this new bedtime routine. She's had trouble sleeping for basically her entire life. But I kind of let her in on my bedtime routine if I'm having trouble sleeping, which is I'll put on a movie that I've seen before and like not do anything else. Like not will have my phone on or watching my phone, not playing a game at the same time, not drawing, or reading. Just I am honed in on this movie I've seen before. and it mellows me out, and I pass out real easy sometimes during the movie, even.
Yeah.
And she's been doing that. It's been helping her sleep and get better, deeper sleep. But she will enjoy my company when she's doing it, because she'll do that in the living room and then move to the bedroom when she's done. But I stay up later than her. Like, she goes to bed at like 9, 10. I go to bed at like 12 to 1, sometimes 2. So what I'll do is I will take my Steam Deck or my Switch and just chill with her on the couch when she's watching a movie.
Okay.
Because like, you know, like, and I'll occasionally look up or like side watch the movie with her. So, and it's just been this nice moment of like parallel play where she's just kind of zoning into a movie she's seen 100 times, and I'm on my handheld playing a game, and I'm locked in, and it's been real nice. But as such, it has also completely made it so if your game is not on PC or Switch, and specifically PC, and also works on Steam Deck and Switch, I will not play it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Wow.
It's why Ghost of Yotei has been taking me so goddamn long.
Yeah.
Because I can play Ghost of Yotei, or I can play Luminous Arise all out here with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And like even before bed, like I'll do the same thing where I'll wind down with the Steam Deck or the Switch, and then like I'll put in the sleep mode, throw on my CPAP mask,
Yes.
and pass out. So as such, it's like the PS5 is almost like harder to enjoy now, because of this. And part of that is Animal Crossing New Horizons is, and like I love this routine. It's fantastic. Like I get to hang out with my girlfriend more, and it's a super relaxing, chill time. But but like as such, I was like done with WoW housing, but WoW is not on a handheld for me, and I don't want to bother to set up console port and get it set up. But I still kind of was in the housing vibe thing.
Yeah.
So as such, I started playing Animal Crossing some more.
That's right.
So I did not play Animal Crossing during the pandemic. I was not the cool kid. I basically I think we were doing content here, and I chose to review Doom instead. And I played through Doom, and then last year I started Animal Crossing, but I played it for like 2 hours and then stopped. So this has been, so I finally got my island going. I got my first house. I'm out of Tent City. I just got the museum up and running. I got tools that don't break now.
Good.
And I'm like doing my daily routine. And Animal Crossing has become a daily routine thing for me. Where like in the morning or with chill time with my girlfriend, I will pop on to Animal Crossing and just play it, get my daily routine done. I'll go get my wood, go get my fossils, go get my fish, donate to the museum, sell my stuff, pay my debts, log off.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's a beautiful routine, man. Animal Crossing.
It is. It's great. And I've also like been doing that while like I'll have coffee and a pastry. It's awesome. It's a great way to live. So yeah, been doing that, and that game is awesome, and I'm super excited for the update next month. Like I already paid I pre-ordered the $5 to get the Switch 2 edition with graphics upgrades and all the extra stuff. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm having a great time.
Fantastic.
And then last but not least, I played that Marvel Tokon beta.
That's right. Yep.
Dude, people need to calm the fuck down.
You've been seeing the discussion too, huh?
Yeah, like like this game has no sauce. Da 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 da. And I was like, guys, there's no like combo mode. There's no training mode right now. There's like you can basically just play matches. Like, calm down. And if you go on the Marvel Tokon Reddit, there's already people finding tech.
Sure.
There's already people like chill. Just because everyone has a similar control scheme, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Just calm down. Okay? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay? Jesus, someone found a Spider-Man TOD the other day, because it has a reset built into it. Okay? Like, calm fucking down, people. So yeah, I think people need to chill. I hate this shit. Everyone's like, Avatar is gonna kill it. Da, 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 da. I was like,
It's a different
dude,
game,
just
man. That's like they're both fighting games, but they're achieving different things.
yeah, and I think that this Marvel Tokon thing is going to be great for getting casuals if it has a cool story or arcade mode.
Oh yeah.
Like I think that the control, like the one button supers, the easy tag mechanics, the you can really play it as a one character game if you really want to, are all things that are going to go a long way in getting people into this as a more casual person. But yeah, like there are people already figuring out crazy shit with Doctor Doom and getting him to bounce off his little shield thing. Like chill, people. Chill.
It's something that's definitely we can't really judge fully yet because no training mode of any sort to really lab. Like you can go against a CPU at like one difficulty, but that's not it's not a proper training environment.
Yeah, like, and I do think that, like, I have not seen a ton of sauce yet because of that, but I have seen some. But like somebody figure out how to do storm lightning loops.
Okay.
Like chill, people, chill. It's a beta. And
It hasn't
always a
helped
beta.
that I've been watching Maximilian Dude, and he's had some mixed responses to this game. Like he's had moments where he's enjoying himself and moments where he's not, and people are responding. It's cooked or it's the best. Based on that, and it's just like, and I don't know. It's a beta.
It's neither. It's a beta. It's a good beta. The net code's been really solid for me. It looks great. I've been having a fun time. My first impression so far out of the 8 characters I've played is Spider-Man's the best fucking character in this game. He seems ridiculous. Like the fact that he has a reset, a ranged attack, can pull all over the screen. Great air game. Like I'm just like, this man, they made Spider-Man something special here. Yeah. So
apparently last night, Max was quoted, and again, this is like Max just having fun. I don't know how serious, or this is just him goofing with the chat. But he called the combat of Tokon arena fighter, which I think is just.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that's poking some fun. It's not like. I haven't seen the context of it. I don't know what it sounded like when he said it, but like, it's just achieving something different. And you know how it is with fighting game players. They will find different ways to play this that, we just haven't even seen. We know that this is a top level fighting game creator getting a chance with Marvel here. And I think it being Marvel means there will be a lot of adoption, and it being a well-made game by a prolific developer is gonna be great for it. And yeah, there's a lot of auto combos. There's a lot of that happening, but with no training mode and not a lot of time to develop, proper combos yet, we're not going to see that. So it does feel like a lot of auto combos going on.
And I think that, like, yeah, your average player is not an FGC person.
Right.
And they're also going to probably be just maximizing the auto combos, which I think is fine. I think that auto combos being added to fighting games is one of the best way to get people into fighting games. So
Sure.
it doesn't just because you can do some cool shit relatively easily. And then if you like it and you're getting some wins in, you're either gonna have the point of, well, like, I'm not winning on auto combos. I guess I need to learn the real deal. Or you're just gonna stop playing. You probably weren't gonna get into fighting games anyway.
I mean, I guess that this is always the same barrier when it comes to fighting games. Is no matter how easy it gets, at some point you have to play with other people, and at some point you're going to run into, oh, there's a logic here that I'm not privy to, and I need to go
Yeah,
sit down and
well,
learn it.
yeah, like that, and you're always going to be learning. Like I've been playing Street Fighter for over half my life. And yeah, there's some shit in Street Fighter I still don't like, I'm not good at and don't gel with.
Yeah.
I just have to accept that, and that's fine.
Right.
Or I can go in and like go lab it out. And I think that people have a hard time when you're turning your fun into, for lack of a better word, work.
Yeah.
But there is a level of satisfaction you get when you can finally do it correctly.
Sure.
And I think that, and then also you want people to be able to enjoy these games at different levels. Like
That's
part of the reason
thing.
why Smash is so big is like, yeah, you can do crazy combo fucking movement shit in Smash, but you can also like
go in and hit buttons,
like go in, hit buttons, have a fun party game.
Yeah.
And I think that this game, being Marvel in particular, is trying to do both, similar to how Dragon Ball FighterZ did both. And I'm not sure if anyone remembers the first season of Dragon Ball FighterZ. It was also what some might call softless. Like right. It's just like, dude, this game was not going to launch and be MVC2. Where you're like doing infinites and crazy shit. It's just not what it was going to be.
Yeah, I will say, like, I've been messing around with it, and I was really taken aback by just how auto combo-y. Like, this is a game that encourages the casual person to just hit buttons more than any other fighting game I've ever played.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a bummer as someone who's trying to learn fighting games and would like to have, I would like it to tell me a little sooner, like, hey, no, we need to learn how this works. But that's just me. And I think for younger people who just want to play casually, I think this is a perfectly fine setup. And once we get more time with it, there may be something deeper going on that, yeah.
And I do think from playing it, there is some depth there. Like even during like my auto combo matches, like I was figuring out some stuff with Spider-Man in terms of the way his links work, the way his combos work. I think that the ease of and I've talked about this Street Fighter for a while. Ease of execution and like being able to do specials and even being able to do combos doesn't necessarily make you good at a fighting game. Well, like there are people that are total lab monsters who I have fucking just annihilated because I understand spacing and whiff punishing better than they do.
Well, right. Again, with all fighting games, it comes back to the universal mechanics of fighting games, and that's something that you cannot make the game easier to get better at.
Yeah, yes, and this game I think is going to be a lot of fun when it's finished. It's been going on the same time as that Avatar beta. I did not get into the Avatar beta. Right. That game looks cool.
Yeah.
Someone already figured out a 60 sit, and I think that game is for much. I do not like the way that game looks visually. Okay. I think that its animations and the way things look on screen remind me of a goddamn Nickelodeon Flash game. Like, that's just what it feels like to me personally.
Sure.
And it might just because I'm watching it on goddamn YouTube compressed video and it might look awesome on the screen, to be fair.
I mean, you're also, if you're going purely by visuals, if you're switching between Avatar and this, Tokon, like...
Yes, yeah. that too. But like I think that Avatar is trying to, rightly or wrongly, appeal to hardcore fighting game people.
Exactly.
Like it's and it's like and I don't necessarily think that is the right approach for that property, especially because like my girl, dude, my girlfriend loves Avatar. She's a huge fan. Her and her family used to watch it. I like the series. Uh, I think that she would see some of the stuff that's going on that I've seen in these beta matches, and I'm like, she would find this to be the most intimidating thing ever. I never want to touch this.
I'm gonna pull up some Max Dude footage of the game, and yeah, apparently he was quoted as saying this could be like the Dark Souls of fighting games, the way it's set up, which terrifies me.
Yeah, like I have been watching some of the footage coming out of this game, and I'm just like, bro, what are you like? People are already finding TODs in the beta, and just finding the most just like Korra has this reflect tech and this counter tech that, you know, when she's in it and in the stance, if you're good enough, you can effectively just completely, you know, negate someone's offense.
Right.
And I'm like, this seems like the biggest load of bullshit I have ever seen. You know, and that's cool. You know,
Again,
yeah,
I think this is
flows.
gonna be a case of just different audiences.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play both. I think they're both uh you know, both of these are coming out next year, right? I know Tokon's next year for sure.
I would imagine.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, yeah,
I'm looking forward to
I'm
both. I want to see how they develop once they're out.
yeah, that's the thing. I want to see what happens when people have like full on like weeks to lab and, you know, whatnot. Yeah, like someone posted a day one Fenreedy Spider-Man combo, and it already is looking like. Let me send you this. Hold on.
Okay.
You know, tell me this game doesn't have any sauce. Come on now. I posted it in the general.
Okay. Up. Over here. While we're waiting to make this work. There we are. That's the best we can do here. But yeah. Here, hang on, wait a minute. I messed something up. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I think these games will be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for both. I'm excited to have like I think both of these are going to end up at Evo if they're out in time, and I think that's, you know, I think that's good because last Evo, like in terms of lineup, it was very much not for me outside of Street Fighter, and
Sure.
also watching that and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And also watching that Tekken 8 grand finals and Tekken 8 top 8 was the saddest shit I have ever seen in my entire life.
Right, yeah.
Like it was just like I was rooting for that. I forget who it was, but it was that Japanese Clive player, and then everything else was just the two dudes from Pakistan running a fucking train on everybody.
Yep.
I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
That was a bummer to watch.
You know, fuck this so much. You know, thank God for Street Fighter.
I love Tekken. I love looking at Tekken. I love playing Tekken. But man, watching the results of everyone, you know, pushing the current meta and what the result of it is just like, damn, this. All right.
Yeah, like I completely fell off of Tekken, and I thought going to Evo would reignite my interest in Tekken, but it actually just made me want to play City of the Wolves.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's like I thought I was gonna come out of Evo being like, man, Tekken, and now I'm like, oh, never mind.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Hey, new fighting games, which 2025 was struggling with.
Yeah. 2025 had City of the Wolves and a bunch of remakes and remasters. So, you know.
Yeah,
I will say one thing.
We got some new stuff. I'm looking forward to it.
I do want one thing from Infinite to change, and that's or not Infinite. From Tokon to change, and that's I think they need to allow infinites. I think you need to. I think you need to allow infinites. You can't have a Marvel game without infinites. Come on now.
Leave
Come
it
on
to
now.
them to figure it out. I'm very curious what they decide to do. I don't know, man. I think at some point it's just like people want to play the Marvel characters and hit buttons. So does Infinite stop that?
No, in fact, they encourage it. You can press all the buttons.
Yeah.
And then people at Evo can go, yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
In line with your infinite. It's a super good time.
Oh yeah.
So
Cool.
All right, guys. We love you.
Yep.
This have a great rest of your week.
Play video games.
And we'll
enjoy yourselves.
play video games.
We'll see you next week. We got a bunch of stuff going up. Go check out our stuff on our numerous channels. Go find us in your favorite podcast app.
Yeah, Split Fiction episode stuff is continuing.
Yep.
The podcast is going up. Although this week I'm gonna have to add something to the front and do some edits. So yeah. No, it's we hope you come and enjoy stuff with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.